PaperLess is the best AP automation software for Sage Intacct users wanting to automate and gain control over invoice processing, invoice approval, and invoice archiving processes. In order to start automating invoice data capture, simply bring your invoices into PaperLess, apply a journal type, and run PaperLess automatic invoice recognition. PaperLess is now reading all relevant data from the invoices and cross-referencing it with the supplier default settings in Sage. Now all that is left is for the accounts team to review the accounting data, and if no changes are required, just post the invoices into Sage Intacct. PaperLess is now posting the invoices, and if we now go into Sage Intacct, as you can see, all transactions have been posted without the need for any manual data input. With PaperLess, Sage Intacct users can easily reduce the amount of time spent on data input and increase the accuracy of their accounting data. However, as we can see on these transactions, PaperLess also automatically links the invoice to the corresponding transaction, so that no more time is spent by the accounts team on manually archiving or searching for invoices. If we click on the PaperLess button, Sage Intacct users have immediate access to the invoice as well as any other supporting documentation. For Sage Intacct users using purchase orders, PaperLess also has available PaperLess automatic matching and closing of purchase orders. As you can see, we already have some purchase orders created in Sage, so that now all we need to do is bring the invoices into PaperLess, apply the journal type, and run PaperLess automatic invoice recognition. As before, PaperLess is automatically capturing all invoice data, but this time it is also checking if the PO number on the invoices match the PO number for that supplier in Sage Intacct. As you can see, all these invoices have a PO number, so all the accounts team need to do is to quickly review the data and click the button to post the transactions into Sage. On posting, PaperLess is checking if the invoice amount matches the purchase order amount. If there is a match, then PaperLess will automatically close the purchase order and post the transactions as defined on the purchase order. As you can see, the POs in Sage Intacct are now showing as converted because the invoice matched the purchase order, so PaperLess automatically closed the POs. If we go to the View Bills, as you can see, the transactions have been posted and can now be seen here. Like with any other document posted via PaperLess, the invoices have also been automatically attached to the corresponding transactions. In order to fully automate invoice processing routines, PaperLess gives Sage Intacct users access to PaperLess Company Inbox. With PaperLess Company Inbox, all your suppliers need to do is send their invoices into PaperLess Company Inbox email address, and from there, PaperLess can process these invoices automatically based on the automation rules predefined by you. There are several automation levels available, but for Sage Intacct users using purchase orders, the recommended one is the one shown here with supplier Veolia. For this supplier, we are setting up a rule where all invoices received from this supplier's email address, where the body of the email contains this keyword, PaperLess should automatically capture the invoice data and post the invoice into Sage in case a PO number is found on the invoice and the invoice amount and PO match. By fully automating invoice processing routines with PaperLess Company Inbox, if 60 or 70% of the invoices received on Company Inbox match the purchase order in Sage Intacct, accounts teams will only need to focus their attention on the 30 or 40% of the invoices that do not have a purchase order or where for some reason the amounts do not match. As you can see, the items have been processed. If we now go into our inbox, as you can see from the 3 invoices from this supplier where we set up an automation rule to automatically post to Sage, one of them is here because since the invoice does not have a PO number, PaperLess did not try to post it. Regarding the other 2 invoices, if we go into Sage Intacct Purchase Order, as you can see, the POs have been fully converted. From View Bills, you can see the transactions which we processed in a fully automated manner. In order to retrieve the invoices, simply click on the PaperLess button, and directly from within Sage Intacct, you can easily retrieve the document so that you do not have to spend time on manually archiving invoices or going through a pile of paper to find an invoice. With PaperLess for Sage Intacct, users can automate invoice approval processes based on supplier, department, location, project, nominal, and several other dimensions. With PaperLess, keeping control over maximum approval amounts, approval thresholds, and second-level approvals is simple and easy. In this example, we will be manually creating the document flow to send these 2 invoices for approval. As shown here, you can select one or multiple users. In this instance, we will be sending these invoices for one user to approve them. The invoices are now sent for approval, and the approver will be receiving an email notification. Directly from the email notification, the user can decide to approve the invoices via the web, as shown here. Alternatively, the user can click on the option to launch Paperless on the go to approve the invoices directly from their mobile phone. Directly from the app, the user can view both invoices that are pending approval, check the approval audit trail, view the invoice, and also check the accounting data. In this first example, since the user does not require any changes to be made, they will just select Express Approve. And since the system is set up to automatically post the invoices into Sage after last approval, Paperless is now posting the transaction. The user currently approving invoices was set up to only view and approve documents, meaning that they do not have the rights to change accounting data. If on this second example, the user require changes to be made, then they will need to send a document back requesting those changes to be made, as shown here. The main user has now received the invoice and can see what changes the approver has requested. The user is now making the changes and leaving a document for the approver confirming that the changes were made. The invoice has now been sent back to the approver, who this time has decided to access this system via Paperless web instead of via the mobile app. As shown here, the approver can see the message left by the main user and can then double check if the accounting data is now correct. This user is now approving the document, which, based on the settings defined, will be automatically posted to Sage Intacct by Paperless. If we now go into Sage Intacct, as you can see, you have the two transactions here. If we click on the option to view the transaction, you have access to the Paperless button. By clicking on this Paperless button, this time it gives you access not only to the invoice, but also to the complete audit trail of the approval history, so that no more time is spent on going through emails or the paper archive to check who approved what, on what dates, and why certain changes were made. Finally, important to mention that for Sage Intacct users who need to have the invoices available in Sage Intacct for accrual purposes before final approval is given, Paperless also offers Paperless Dispute Approval method. When using this alternative approval method, invoices are posted to Sage Intacct as soon as they are sent on flow, but stop for payment until final approval is given in Paperless. This is a very quick overview of only a few of the many automation features available with Paperless. In order to learn more about the best AP automation software for Sage Intacct, visit www.paperlesseurope.com to book your free online demo.